Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. My name's CJ Barbaro. I run Cosmo Barbaro Furniture. I specialize in making really unique, high-end, one-of-a-kind furniture. And behind me, I have two new pieces I just want to take some time to show everybody. But before I do that, I want to just give a real special thank you to all of my subscribers on YouTube. I appreciate all of your support from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Anybody else that isn't on my channel and would like to subscribe, just look up Cosmo Barbaro Furniture and it'll show up, and just hit the subscribe button. It's free. Um, Today behind me I have two tables. They're side tables that are made out of a material called Sapele. So they're Sapele side tables, and they are 30 inches long by 17 inches wide by 26 inches tall. And the pieces, for the most part, feature traditional joinery. In this case, it features a double tenon. This is a double integral tenon, meaning these are part of the piece. They're not what's called floating, and that means mortises would be cut in here, and these would be individual pieces stuck in here and glued in here. And then inside of the legs on these pieces behind me, and I'll show you in a second at the end, there are 12 of these inside of these pieces. So around the skirt, there are 12 mortise and tenons, and then there are two French style drawers, which is a really fancy drawer, and I'll show you that. This material I get from a company called Richie Lou, and they're out of Buffalo. They are fantastic. It is Sapele, a subspecies of mahogany, and mahogany is all about, in my opinion, I love the dark stuff, so that's what I specifically look for. And in mahogany, it's a crapshoot. A lot of times you'll get Honduran or Philippine mahoganies, which is very light, and I'm looking for African mahogany, and that's even hard to get that in dark the way it was a long time ago. But this material is very consistent, and it is dark like that African mahogany, except the difference is it's very straight grained, and that's what I love about it. Here is a piece of traditional African mahogany, and this is about a medium darkness piece. Here's what it looks like in the rough. Here's what it looks like plain. This is what they call a flat sawn piece. You see the cathedral grain, and here is the Sapele piece that has a really nice straight grain. It's all personal preference. You might like this better. It doesn't matter. It's what you like. In my case, this is what I like. And I also like that this is a little bit darker than this. So this is what it looks like, you know, right off the planer. And this is what it looks like with Minwax satin polyurethane on it. And this piece references like this. It is representative of the side rails, the back rails. And in this case, and there are 12 of those joints in here, which make this will literally last 100 years, guaranteed, because of this type of joinery. Also, the drawer work is traditional dovetails with maple backs and French style drawers, and that means they have it's a fancy type of dovetail. The joinery is half blind dovetails on the front through dovetails on the back. French style drawers feature 1/4 inch or thinner sides, and then a fancy molding piece on the inside. It just makes it look really nice. And then a really nice decorative pendant pull on the front, and that's turned out of rosewood. Now all these techniques, the turning of the pendant, the texturing of the aluminum brackets underneath the shelf on the bottom, the shaping, the routering shaping of this is all on my YouTube channel. Additionally, the cutting of this mortise and tenon is on there as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and grab the camera. I'm going to bring you down close so I can show you. So just bear with me real quick. Okay. I'm going to bring you right down here. And what I want to show you is this grain and how nice it is. It's really just so goldeny. It's quite amazing. It's beautiful. And here's what the drawers look like. There's that decorative molding, half blind dovetails, and then here's that bracket that I put a couple texturing videos on. And this is cold fastened, just threaded and tapped, not welded. And then I do all the texturing, and then I thread and tap it together, and then I re-drill out so I can get my screw in here accordingly. And it's very strong in terms of this shelf. So I could actually pick the piece up. I wouldn't recommend that, but I was really happy with that. And this detail right here for this leg, so the mortises are in here and the double tenons are in here. And then this is the traditional beautiful half-blind dovetail. It's always nice because it has a nice contrast between the dark sapele and the maple sides. So I use Renaissance wax to fit these, and it turned out real nice. And so these drawers run the length. They're super nice and deep, and they don't have mortise and tenons on the front, but they're locked in here, 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 and here on the top, so 4 points. And then also they have a sliding dovetail running across here, so the pieces are very sturdy and strong. Sometimes what people will do right here is they'll take this piece and they'll rip a strip here and they'll rip a strip here, and they'll take this centerpiece and they'll cross cut this out and cross cut this out, and then they'll just take these 4 outer pieces and they'll glue them together. They'll take the centerpiece out, and this centerpiece would represent your drawer. So if I had done that, my drawer would have only ended up being this wide, and that's an okay way to do it if you're okay with your drawer being narrow. But in my case, I wanted as much depth. And here's kind of like a little, it's twofold. It is structural. There's a sliding dovetail that connects this piece to these legs, and also it acts as a stop, in a reference stop for the drawer. So I'm super happy with this. I'm really happy with this. This is a beautiful rosewood that I friction fit into this tie rod. This is a McMaster part. And I'll just give you another couple of shots of these. This leg detail I've been working on for a while. This is going to be on a Wenge butterfly leaf extension table. It's going to have bigger versions of these legs and similar joinery. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. There's the bottom shelf. And what happens in this bracket, which is untraditional, unorthodox way of doing this, is you kind of end up with a floating shelf. But if you'll notice, this is expansion and contraction, sits behind these legs. It doesn't sit in between these legs. So if I did that and I brought it into here, it would expand and could potentially bow these legs out. So I set this shelf behind the leg so I didn't have to deal with that. And I could let it freely expand and contract. The holes of the brackets are oversized to allow for that. So Sapele side tables. Sapele, hard rock maple, rosewood, 6061 aluminum. It is solid, it's not hollow. And that texturing video is on there. And it's got a nice satin finish. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for watching.